and today I'll be sharing how we prepare to buy our first home before the age of 30. If you have a goal to buy a house in the future, it is very important to start building your credit as soon as possible. I got my first credit card when I was 18. Willie got his when he was 20. And since then, we've just been using our credit cards to build our credit so that by the time we were ready, our credit scores were in the range of what they were looking to see when we went to look for a house. So if they give you a small card of just like a small credit balance of 500 or 100, only use that for small purchases. That's what we did. We only used it for to fill our tank once a month or to buy McDonald's or whatever here and there. And then we would pay it off on time or even earlier than it was due. Also, when we paid, we would pay the minimum or even more than the minimum that was due. That way our credit score will continue to increase over time, and you don't want to use too much of your balance at once, or else that'll hurt your credit score and it'll be hard to bring it back up. So in order to test our ability to afford large monthly bills, after a year of being together, we decided to rent an apartment together. That way we knew if we could afford the large monthly bill of rent plus the smaller bills an apartment comes with, like gas, water, light, cable and Wi-Fi if you choose to get that kind of stuff. All that stuff, we realized, if we can afford this throughout the month without any late payments or without missing any payments, then we know by the time our lease is up, we can be ready to afford a mortgage and all the bills that a house comes with. And you don't necessarily have to rent an apartment to test your ability to afford large bills. You can finance a car, and that also comes with its bills, like gas to fill up your gas every now and then, your car insurance, and plus your monthly finance bill for the car. So once you know you can afford that, then you can eventually add on to that and you can see, okay, I can afford paying my car or I can afford paying my apartment. I'm pretty sure I can afford a mortgage. Alright, so this step is clearly not the easiest, but it is one of the most important. From the time we started renting our apartment, we decided to, every time we got our check, we would take some money out and put it to the side for savings. And we wouldn't touch it unless it was an emergency. So let's say for every check, we put aside $100, and every month we were saving that money. So by the time our lease was up, we had some money saved up. It's not the easiest thing to do all the time to just take money out of your check. So what we also did was cut down on some bills that weren't necessarily, we didn't need them. Like, for example, our cable bill. It was much cheaper to just pay for Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus rather than paying a monthly bill for cable for a whole bunch of channels we weren't watching. So all we did was we kept the Wi-Fi, and then with our smart TV, we just decided to use Hulu, Netflix, stuff like that to watch shows that we normally would watch rather than a whole bunch of channels that were unnecessary. That saved us money. Another way that we were able to save money was to stop eating out all the time. So every 2 weeks we would come up with a list of everything we were going to eat for those 2 weeks. So let's say Monday we wanted spaghetti, Tuesday we wanted rice and beans, whatever it was, we put that onto a list and we would go to the grocery store and buy everything we needed for those 2 weeks. So every month we would take about 2 trips to the grocery store. We'd spend no more than $80 to $100 each time, and that over time saves you a lot more money than going out to eat 3 times a week or even 10 times a month. You save more money by doing that. One thing that they're really going to look at when you go to purchase a house is your debt to income ratio. So they want to know how much debt you have versus how much money you're making each month. So one thing that you can do before going out to purchase a home is taking some of that money that you saved over the years and using it to eliminate your debt. So if you did buy a car, try to pay off as much as you can so that your debt is as least as possible when you go to buy the house. You can use that money to pay off other big bills or to start off like paying your student loans or whatever it may be. Try to eliminate your debt. So going back to the credit card, what they really want to see is that your credit balance is always under 30% or at 30%. So let's say your credit line was $100 and you've used $75 of that credit line. So what you're going to want to do is pay off $45 or more so that your credit balance is $30 or less. That way it's always under 30% or at 30%. If you're higher than 30%, it's not the worst thing in the world, but they want to see you at 30%. And if you pay off that big chunk of that $45+ for that balance to get it under 30%, you will get a nice credit boost. That's what we did, and it raised our credit score by like 14 points, and that's very important for when you go to buy a house. So this step is kind of optional and it's not as important as the other steps, but it'll help you to prepare better to buy your house. So what you want to do is you want to keep up with the market trends. So you want to look at predictions for the market. Do they predict that it's going down? Do they predict it's going up? Do they suggest that you should buy this year or wait till next year? If they say you should wait till next year, it's not the worst thing in the world because now you have more time to save your money and to build your credit, which is always good. The next thing that you want to do is keep up with the prices around your area or in the areas that you feel like you might want to move there. So look at a house price for March and then look again in June and then look again in September. Just keep track of those prices and see if they're going up or they're going down. You can also look at school district, crime in that area, all that kind of stuff you want to keep up with. That way when you're ready to search, you know exactly where you want to search or what kind of areas you want to look at. This step is also one of the most important steps that we took so that we were more prepared. So what we did was we researched what kind of loans were available in the state of Ohio. So we saw, was there an FHA loan, conventional loan, etc. And once you see what kind of loans they are, get the details for each and every loan so that you can compare and contrast them. You want to find out what percentage do they require as a down payment for the house. You want to find out, do they offer first-time buyer programs? What is the debt to income ratio limit? What credit scores do they want to see? All this stuff you can put into a big list and then compare and contrast so you know which loan will be best for you. So the very last thing we did before going out to find a house was we researched the top 10 mortgage lenders in our state. So you just Google it up. You can search top 10, top 5, whatever you want to search, and there will be websites that give you a list of those top 10 or top 5, whatever it is, based off of reviews, customer satisfaction, and what they offer, all that good stuff. You want to make sure you take that all into account, and then once you see which ones you think are the top 2 or top 3, you can apply for a pre-approval from each of those so you can compare what kind of loan they want to give you, at what rates, all that good stuff, and that way you're ready to go and search for a house and you know what amount you want to search for based off of the pre-approval that they gave you. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you guys can find these tips helpful to you in your home buying process. This was everything that we did, and obviously it paid off because we are now in the process of having our new home built. If you guys want to see all the details about that, you can refer to my last video where I discussed all the details about our new construction home and where we're currently at today. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like, comment, and share this video with your friends because they may find it helpful too. Bye!